So, Jeremy, when did chaplaincy come into your journey?
I was friends with a chaplain. So we're going back 25 years, year 2000. I kind of started that journey of being a chaplain, an unofficial chaplain, really. I had a friend who was a chaplain, and there was a need. And look, I can talk, I'm friendly. That seemed to be the necessary skills, and love a story, love to tell a story, love to listen to a story. And so there were two spaces that I went into. Firstly, juvenile detention centres, went in as a chaplain, unofficial chaplain in that space. So had no training, no support. And so I went into once a week into the detention centre. And then for those of you in Sydney, I went into the Ryde Rehabilitation Hospital. Both those spaces, I felt very uncomfortable in those spaces. So those two spaces were quite challenging without any training. And I kind of fumbled my way through it, and I enjoy people. People, for me, I get invigorated with people and conversations. And I know a little bit about a lot. And so I can sort of hold a conversation for 5-10 minutes if we don't go too deep. I started to not enjoy it. I found it too challenging without training. And so I went and did some training. I went and did a certificate in chaplaincy course, the same course that's been offered that I'll be training, come August. And I found that the knowledge and the skills that I got out of that course, of course, they help. They help you. I started to learn about cultural issues, legal and ethical issues, referrals, understanding grief, presence ministry, all of that stuff that you learn, that helped me.
We tend to think about chaplaincy as being a religious support. It's more than that.
It's a lot more than that now. It's a much wider and broader. I mean, you've got chaplains in every field conceivable, haven't you? So, but it was the training that helped me. So I moved into the education space, and then I moved on to frontline chaplaincy in disaster space as first responder. I found that space was good for me, and I was able to be a support, be a listening ear most of the time. But then, of course, training tells you it's okay to sit in silence and not have to drive a conversation. So take your cues from the patient. These basic endings that you learn in a chaplaincy course.